A while back, another Gears of War game was said to be in development. I knew right then after the completion of Gears of War 3 what that statement meant. Prequels. So now here we have Gears of War Judgment. That is a suspicious title, to say the least. It is interesting to note that Cliff Bleszinski had no hand in developing this new title. Now I know what you're thinking. Don't jump too far ahead now. The rest of the developers at People Can Fly got a year and a half to create this game. I can now take it off the shelf and examine this game newly born into the Gears of War family. Here I will tell you if this game is just another cog in the gears of Microsoft's money machine, or if it can stand with the bloody good game series.
Just give me 10 minutes to go back there and make sure the bastard's dead. Move!
Gears of War Judgment is a prequel to the original game and surrounds the characters Baird, Cole, and two new characters, Sophia Hendrick and Garen Paddock. The main levels of the game are the squad members' flashbacks that serve as testimonies during a military tribunal. Each member tells a different part of the story when they traveled to a COG base and launched a light mass missile without authorization, and now they face execution. That's our Baird. I find the storytelling and narrative in this flashback format to be quite unseasoned for a game like Gears, and it's a nice little tweak. I believe that most fans will still enjoy it just as much as the other titles. And once that story is completed, it's time to hit it up right before Gears 3 with a story extension called Aftermath. It takes place just moments before the Emulsion Cure was released. Basically, before heading to Azura, Baird, Cole, and Clayton Carmine attempt to find transport and reinforcements. I don't want to give it away too much, but Aftermath does follow a more traditional narrative path of a Gears game. The standard story almost felt more akin to a sci-fi noir game like Halo 3 ODST, and I will refer to that game later. Each character the player jumps into corresponds with their individual testimony in a different area of the game. It was neat to witness the different characters' perspective and ongoing changing attitudes toward the other members, their mission, and the war as a whole.
I've been more comfortable.
Then unburden your mind.
At first I really only appreciated Baird and Cole because we've had 3 games to get to know them. Most people would like Paddock just because of his Russian accent and wouldn't like Sophia because she does it by the books. With time, I figured out their backgrounds and sympathized with them, but it took a while. Gears of War Judgment follows our 2 favorite characters into battle once more and does a favorable job of developing some new ones to tag along. The visual style and graphics of a Gears game haven't really opened eyes very wide, but it did get progressively better and better. One look at the title screen and you'll know if the game's graphics and art style will do justice for it. The graphics in this game are the best and even slightly better than Gears 3. As you can see, fire is pretty much everywhere in this game, and it looks really bright and awesome. The reflective and shining effects look quite gorgeous, and I did find myself looking at the scenery quite a bit. I have to say, the UDK3 engine is about as good as it's gonna get, and looks great for being almost 9 years old. The gameplay of Judgment isn't any different or fresh. It's Gears 3 with a different environment basically. It has its ups and downs. I feel like each battle encounter is just another, oh, here we go again. Compared to the other games, it's the same old tired thing. I will give some credit though for the implementation of star ratings, horde-like battles, and declassified missions. The star rating system really adds to the replayability and challenge of the game. Much like the recently released Metal Gear Vengeance, but it's not as fun or intense to be doing. The declassified missions just alter the current mission to a certain criteria for a change of pace, and I, did them because of achievements. I did like the horde sequences, but soon after they get tiring and aggravating to go through. I will say this was just what the game needed to get off the ground, but just for a little while at least. The campaign has a decent length to it, but when it's done, there really isn't much of a motivation to play it again. The gameplay of Gears of War Judgment is the same thing with just a few interesting things joined in. Gears of War games have always been created with multiplayer in mind, and it has never felt tacked on. Judgment tries to take its word upon that, but falls short of the fun the previous games contained. Some players are just going to be so much better than most, and it gets annoying, but that's dedication, so I'll have to give it that. Gears fans will enjoy it more than the casual players such as myself will. In Team Deathmatch, it is a who is better contest, and same thing with free-for-all. I will say that domination is quite enjoyable for a while, and it actually keeps the team doing something, unlike in many other multiplayer games now. The game has also gotten rid of active reloading, down but not out, and executions. Why? I don't understand this decision at all. Those were fun to do. The game has also gotten rid of the Locust as a team, and now the sawed-off shotgun is two-shot and weaker now. That's really my complaints. I really can't comprehend this, and it seems like a lazy attempt just to change the game. In addition, there are only 4 maps, and despite how well designed each are, we could have at least had a couple old ones chucked in there for some more content. The controls have also been streamlined, with the left bumper being the grenade button and Y being the weapon swap. It's a good modification, but this takes away the ability to plant grenades and support a third sidearm weapon. Okay, it's not all bad. The game type Overrun is a lot of fun to be had. You can play as the Locust and kill the COG, or be the COG fending off the Locust. It's an entertaining mix of Horde and Beast with a Battlefield-like objective and progression. It needs to be played to be understood and appreciated. It's really good to say the least. Go and try the demo to see my point. Survival is the last mode, and it's just Overrun with Horde AI. That's it. Overall, multiplayer is fun, but not nearly as fun as the other games. Gears of War wasn't finished just yet, and I knew its next direction. In all, the game feels less in terms of the content while comparing it to Gears 3. I think of this game more like Halo 3 ODST. It should have been called Gears 3 Judgment, and priced around $45 to $50. Gears of War Judgment is for the hardcore fans, no one else. For a casual player like me, if you want it enough, wait for the price to go down for your own good, and then you're going to have to bite the bullet being murdered by the classic hammer burst, seeing as you had to pre-order the game to get it. It is not worth $60. Gears of War Judgment is just another polished cog in the wheel. It stands in the corner of a great series at 4 lukewarm eggs out of 6.